fear is not something that paralyzes you. You're motivated to get something done, because the alternative is you're going to get killed.
The President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress, March 3, 1863, has awarded in the name of the Congress the Medal of Honor to Captain Jack H. Jacobs, United States Army.
Heroism is the nation's greatest asset.
It was the 9th of March, 1968. We had been fighting the Viet Cong continuously. By continuously, I mean continuously, all day, every day.
The 2nd Battalion was advancing to contact when it came under intense heavy machine gun and mortar fire from a Viet Cong battalion positioned in well-fortified bunkers.
We walked into an enormous L-shaped ambush. We lost, 50, 75 men killed and wounded in the first 10 seconds of the battle. I was badly wounded. My NCO was badly wounded.
Despite profuse bleeding from head wounds, which impaired his vision, Captain Jacobs returned under intense fire to evacuate a seriously wounded advisor to safety, where he administered life-saving first aid.
I went back out into the open about two dozen times to drag wounded soldiers back to the relative safety of a ditch nearby.
His gallant actions and extraordinary heroism saved the lives of 1 United States advisor and 13 Allied soldiers.
Were you scared, or was there not time to be scared?
No, I was scared. I was always scared in combat. And when I was not in combat, I was scared I would soon be in combat. I know a lot of people say they weren't, and I don't say that they're not telling the truth, but I don't see how you could be in a situation in which people are ardently trying to kill you and not be scared. People ask all the time, whether it's the Medal of Honor or any other kind of award for valor, why did you do what you did? And the answer is, these are my buddies. And in a similar circumstance, they would have done the same thing for me. The situation at the White House was surreal, to say the least. Went into the Oval Office and were ushered in there. And Nixon said to me, he said, sit in my chair, sit in the president's seat. Like, okay. I mean, as a captain in the Army, here I am in the Oval Office talking to the President of the United States. I sat in the desk, and he said, he leaned over and he said, are you nervous, son? I said, well, no, sir, I'm not. He says, well, I am. And he had this beads of Nixon sweat on his upper lip. And when he leaned over, I realized that he had makeup on.
People have a certain image of what an Army man is like. You are one of the biggest goofballs that I know.
Being goofy, I think, is very important to me. It keeps me on an even plane. Making sure you don't take yourself seriously in situations that are not serious gives you the opportunity to focus your attention and be very, very serious when you need to be. You can't be goofy all the time, but unless you've lost your marbles, you got to be goofy once in a while.
Good evening. I have asked for this radio and television time tonight for the purpose of announcing that we today have concluded an agreement to end the war and bring peace with honor in Vietnam and in Southeast Asia.
How often do I think about Vietnam? More often now than I used to. And maybe not thinking about it was a way to rid myself of the demons that affect oneself after combat. But I think about it more frequently now since I went back. I, with no problem, found the field from which I was medevaced and so on. But
was that emotional to be there?
Yeah, there was a great deal. Yes, it was emotional to be there again, but in a nice way. I mean, I really liked being there. I met the enemy commander who had been a VC district chief at the time. We went into his house. We spent the next hour and a half or so talking about the battle. We went over maps. He told me some things that I hadn't known and other things that I had suspected, and he verified.
And no anger from you towards him?
No, or vice versa. He's
I mean, you're sitting in the home of the guy that tried to kill you.
Yeah, but don't forget, we were two old soldiers talking about a life-changing event for both of us. I know this sounds terrible. I felt a great deal of comradeship with this guy. We were in the same business. He was defending what he thought he had to defend, and so was I. He was trying to take care of his soldiers, and so was I. I was trying to take care of my soldiers. Almost all the friends I had went into service and did their bit for 2 or 3 years. Most of them got out and then went about their business becoming doctors and lawyers and so on. I stayed. I was going to come in the Army and do my bit and get out and go to law school. But I stayed, and I stayed because I really loved the people and I didn't want to leave them. And today when people ask me, what do I miss most about the Army? It's that, it's the people. I always feel better when I'm around people who have served or who are serving, and I really miss them when I'm away from them.